Hey guys, I hope you're feeling good. And I felt inspired to make a video once again. It's been a long time. Um, so I had this talk with a lot of people recently about the things we own and what kind of that it's a responsibility to own things. Like for whatever I own, I'm currently the caretaker of this thing. And then when I am a caretaker of a thing, there comes a responsibility with that. And I think this responsibility is different in different humans, or this feeling of responsibility is different to different humans. Um, so for me, the responsibility that comes with the things I own is the responsibility of using the things I own. I was blessed enough in my life to have an overabundance of things, being able to afford more than I need before. And I can talk from my own experience that actually, if you possess too much, it's blocking you. I think it was Immanuel Kant who said, "We are not rich by what we possess, but by what we can do without." And I literally see that with I met in my travels, I met a lot of people who never had the blessing of having money in the first place, or even a lot of money. And I never met people who are so resilient and so inspired to use whatever is at their disposal for what the thing that they actually need right now, right? So, my conclusion is that actually having too many things is not a blessing, it's actually a curse. It's really blocking you from using the things, yeah? So, like, let's say you like knives, and knives are here to cut things to, yeah, you know what I mean. But if you have this collection of knives and you never use the knives, is this respectful towards the knife? That thing that was created to be used. Things are not created to just be, they are to be used. Like, even beautiful things that are just decoration, they enhance the beauty of your space or your perception of the beauty of your space. So they enhance your well being, and then you are using them. So that's where a collection of knives can have a useful effect, even if you don't use them. What I see is that manipulated through capitalism, we tend to own much more than we actually need. And also, we tend to own things that take away from our own capability of doing things. Yeah? Like a lot of things that we used to do with our own hands, now a machine does for us because we don't have the time anymore. And that led all these conversations I had on this topic to that one final thought that actually, what is abundance if not having time that you can spend with things that you really enjoy doing? It's not about having the thing, it's about having the time to using and enjoying the thing. And that would maybe even lead to a switch in perspective in the whole society, because right now it's always about getting the new thing, because the advertisement of the new thing promises to you that you will feel happier when you have it, in one way or another, whatever that might be. Maybe it's like you look better, you will feel better in your body, you will have like a status symbol that is like showing to the outside world that you are successful. And that's my main question, is that really success? Are we even big enough in the human vessel as it is right now to really understand what a successful life means? Because right now perception of success in the West. I'm living in Switzerland, so I'm talking about the West, the Western perspective, the way it's lived here. The thing is that right now we talk about a life being successful when people, like, they have their own house, they have a job that pays a lot of money, they have a family, they have people to spend their time with that they call friends. But I've worked with so many people who had all of these things, and the one thing they didn't have was happiness. The one thing they didn't have was contentment. The one thing they didn't have was the feeling of purpose or fulfillment. So, what is true success? To me, it's about living a life that fulfills me, a life that I feel purpose in, a life that I can live so relaxed that I have the capacity to be kind to others, even though maybe they're sometimes not kind to me. And so I really believe that now would be the time to change this focus, right? Because I once heard a Hindu teaching. That's also why I look a bit dirty right now. Today in the morning we made some ritual with the ashes of a fire we burned yesterday. I can only recommend to you, if you ever burn a fire and you are still able to access the ashes in the morning, clean your head with the ashes, because ash is one of the purest forms of matter on the planet, and it really helps you to clear your spirits. Anyways, so there is this Hindu teaching that says, I think it's also in Buddhism, we don't actually have to do anything to become happy. Because happiness is the natural state. Contentment, feeling connected and purposeful, is the natural state. So we have to find all the things inside and outside of us that block this natural state from occurring. And this is where, maybe I told all the story a bit backwards now, but I think you were able to follow. And that is where this thought of, okay, if I have so many things and I own so many things, are they not really like blocking me from experiencing true happiness, true joy? Because as we said, everything I own comes with a responsibility. The responsibility to pay rent so this thing can be there. The responsibility to clean the space, to maybe, I don't know if it's a technical thing, you have to charge it. There is a lot of work. With everything you own comes a kind of work. The more clothes you possess, the more you can not do laundry, and then you have a huge pile of laundry once the day comes that you actually do laundry. If you only have 3 shirts and 3 pants, you will actually not have a lot of work when you do laundry, but you have to do it more repetitively, right? So right now I see a lot of people like that believe in this model of success on the outside, and then they have this success on all the material level, but they still don't feel happy. And actually, the more they buy, the more they go away from a feeling of happiness. Even if what they buy is like self-developmental tools or trauma therapy and so on, because it's not about having more to be happy. It's about having less. As Kant said, what can we do without? Because stripped down, like, I think I told you before that sometimes I do this training where I just imagine that I've already died. When life sucks a bit, I imagine that I already died and now I came back and I'm here again and I can experience all of this again, and it's easier. And the things I appreciate most in when I have this thought, I do this meditation, I come back and I'm still alive, is the sun, moonlight, having a good friend to talk to that really resonates with you, giving somebody a really long hug, having sex. It's the simple things. It's the toned down things. And for sure there can be more, like working with your body, like, I don't know, snowboarding, dancing, whatever. But it's simple. It's never this highly complicated, overcomplicated things. It's not possessing this, possessing that. You can't take that with you anyways. yeah, that's like some thoughts I wanted to share with you. And yeah, I'm really looking a lot in my life right now at how things present themselves on the outside. Like, I don't know, you see somebody that seems to have it all, right? They have the family, they have the car, they have the house, they have the travels, blah, 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 whatever it is that we project onto them. But I realized that, I mean, I work a lot with people that have that. And what I realized is that often they have all of that, but the quality of it would not make me happy, would not make me content. Yeah, because we can have a relationship or a partnership, but then how do we communicate in this partnership? How fully authentic can we show up in this partnership? Just because there is a partnership doesn't mean it's fulfilling or giving purpose or giving growth, because that's what partnership should be about. Um, just because there is a house doesn't mean there is a home. I lived in houses that were no homes. Just because there is food doesn't mean there is appetite. Just because there is a cozy bed doesn't mean that these people sleep well. No matter how many supplements they take and so on and so on, you know? So I feel like as a society, we very much focus on the outside standard. Yeah. Oh, are you in a safe and loving relationship? Oh, are you do you have a house? Do you have a roof over your head? No, 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 no. Yes, these are the basic needs, very important. But we are white privilege here. So what is the responsibility as white privilege is to enhance the things that are really important, because yes, it's important to have food and shelter, but what is also super, super, super important is to have community, to have people who are there for you, no matter if you are depressed, no matter if you are happy, no matter if you're manic. People who care for you deeply and will not leave your side. And a lot of people don't have this privilege in these days, because we're always up to the next thing, up to the next thing, to the new thing, the more interesting thing, because it gives dopamine. So, yeah, I'm really aiming to spread more conscience about not the quantity of things, but the quality of things. And not about, I don't care if you are in a partnership or not. I want to know if your relationships give you growth, if they nurture you, if they nourish you, if you feel safe in your relationships. Because so many people have so many friends in so many relationships, and they cannot, like, even, not even in one, they can be fully themselves and fully express themselves. So, what is the value of that then? Is it really value? Or is it just a comfort zone that's actually not even comfortable? So, yeah, I really feel that also in terms of success. Like, I never really understood how material, like, too much material richness can mean success, because I feel like at some point you have enough and then you give it to others, the things that you have more. But that's just my understanding of things. Um, but what made the least sense for me is that you can take none of this to the other side. I mean, we're all going to die. None of this will continue with you. So why is it so important here to have more than you need? Because we don't need so much. We all have too much, basically. Like in the West, again, in the West. So yeah, like, is this really success? Or or is it true, and I read that many times in lots of different articles, that a lot of people on their dying bed, what they regret the most is that they didn't have more time to really have deep conversations with friends, because we need time. Our nervous system needs time to show up authentically. We cannot do this in a quick manner. It's not possible. Quick will always bring up the mask. Quick will never show the full self. It's time that shows the full self. Space. So, yeah, these people, they regret not having watched more sunsets, not having taken more walks with their dog when it was still alive. So, what people regret most is that they were not where they were during their life, because they were always already in the next thing. They were always already in what they have to do next, work next, instead of buying less, having less responsibility because owning less things, and then having more time to actually enjoy the things they have. Yeah. These were my thoughts today, and I wanted to share them with you. If you watched till now, thank you so much for watching, and I wish you a lovely day. Take care and much love. Bye bye.